Hello, welcome back learners. As you know, in the previous section, we have learnt about the application of the loadings, that is both the dead load as well as live load. Once the dead load, live load and all kinds of loaders which is required for this project is applied, we have to analyze the model. So as I already told in the previous lecture, before we go to the analysis, we have to check the model, right? So first again today we will just check the model once, right? So we will check it for all these kinds, any overlappings in the frames, overlapping in the shells or any joints issues. So it will check, okay? So once the checking is done, then it will give you the indication that if there is no errors are there, then it will give you no warnings. If any errors are there, then here it will be mentioned what type of error is that. So when you know that some error is there, then you have to change the errors, you have to rectify the errors. So once the errors is rectified and if you are getting no warnings, then it means that you are getting the green signal to analyze the structure. Now there are two ways of analyzing. One, either you can come to analyze and go to run analysis, so that will also analyze the structure. Otherwise you have an option here called run analysis. This is a shortcut key. You can come here next to the lock image. So this is what you call it as run analysis. And I would like to tell you one point to learners, that once the analysis is done, so what will happen, this lock which is in the open state will get closed. So when this lock is closed, it indicates that your analysis is completed, and when it is closed, when the lock is closed, you cannot modify any structure. Okay, you cannot modify any structure, you cannot change anything in the structure what you modeled. So if you want to model, if you want to change or if you want to rectify some of the things in the model, then what you have to do, you have to click on this. When you click on that, then your model will unlock. So when the model gets unlocked, then what will happen, your analysis results whatever you have got, so that will be that will be exhausted, it will be erased. So again you have to run the model, then again lock will be applied, then again you can get the results. So now like that I will show you both the things. So first I will analyze in this manner. So I will go to analyze, I will go to run analysis. So once the analysis is done, there will be a deformation that you can see in the structure. See, the analysis is complete. Now you can see that there is a deformation. Okay, so this is the deformation in the structure, and you can see that your lock is closed now. It means now you cannot change. You can see that these options which are present here, these options are the one which we use, okay, to do the modeling. These modeling options, everything now they are in the, what you can say, so they are blocked, you cannot do anything. Okay, if you want to do anything with respect to this, then you have to unlock the model. So now you can only obtain the results. So I will show that. So now when I unlock the model will delete the analysis results, right? It means whatever the results you got, so that all those results will be erased. Okay, that all those results will be erased. So when I give OK, you can see that the structure will come back to its normal shape, normal position. Then you can see now these icons will get activates, that is modeling icons. It means now whatever you want to change in the model, you can make changes. So like that you are supposed to do it. So if no changes, then again I can click on this, it will run the analysis, then the deformed shape will appear. Okay, here it will show the progress. So once it is done, you can see that there will be a deformed shape. So once this is done, this is now the analysis. Now we have not gone to the design of the structure, we have just gone to the analysis. Now, once you get the analysis, so what are the results that you can get? So let us see in this video that what are the different results that we get. Okay, what are the different results that we get? So then in the next video, I'll explain you for our design what are the results that we have to consider, what are the results that we need. Okay, today I'll show you what are the results. Now, once this is done, if you want to see the results, so I will get all the results in the form of tables. Okay, I'll go to display now. Okay, I'll go to display now. So when I go to display, I told you first let me show you that how all results can be seen in the form of table, right? So therefore I will go to display and I will go to show tables. Again I am telling, I will go to display and I will go to show tables. I will click on show tables. Now when I click on show tables, you can see here there are three categories. One is model, another one is analysis, another one is design. Now as I already told, we are not going to touch this design part because we have not done the design. We have just analyzed the structure. Okay, so therefore let us see today what results that you are going to get in the model and what results you are going to get in the analysis. Now when I want to see that what are the results that I can get in the model, you can see here that there is a plus sign. Okay, when you click on the plus sign, then it will show you again these are the subcategories that you can see under model. If I click on minus, then these subcategories will vanishes. So when I click on plus, these subcategories will come. So the subcategories, the first one is project settings. In the project settings, again you will be having various subcategories. So let us see, I will click on plus. You can see that this project settings will have program control and program information. Now if you want to see about the program control, what results, just click on OK. Just click on this program control and give OK. Now you can see that this will be in the form of table. I can bring the table like this here. I can drag and I can make it to my convenient view. Now in the program control, these are the results that you are going to get. What are those results? You can see the program name, that whatever I am using, it is to ETABS 2016. Okay, that is the program name. What is this version of the software that I am using? It is 16.0.3 is the version. And what is the level? The level is ultimate, and you can see this is my license number, and the units that whatever I am going to use, so it going to be varies. That means for force it is 1 unit, for distance it is 1 unit, for area it is 1 unit, that we have already set in the initial stage itself. Then what is the code that I am using for the steel? It is IS 800 2007. That is my code that I am using for the steel. And what is the code that I am using for the concrete? It is IS 456 2000. Okay, and here we are not doing any design of composite beam, therefore no need to worry about this. Even the composite column also we are not doing, we are doing only reinforced concrete beams and columns. And if you have the shear wall, the shear wall is also, it will be designed as per IS 456 2000 only. And the steel connection code, it is again American code, so no need to worry. So we have the steel code as the Indian code, we have the concrete code as the Indian code. Those two codes are more than sufficient for this problem. So this is about the results that you got in the form of table for the program control. Now let us see the next one, display show tables. Now you have seen the program control, you remove it. Then you want to see the details of the project information. Click on project information, OK. Right. So then it will give you these details. Okay, so these values we have not given because it is not an practical design. That means we are not giving any details to any client. If you are giving the details this to client, then I'll show you at the end of this lecturing sessions that where you can write the client name, what is your project name, then what is the project number, then what is your company name, and any company logo is there, that also you can do. Okay, then what is the name? Okay, that means who is the engineer that he has designed this project. Then once the design is done, it will not be directly executed, it will be checked by some person, and under whose supervision that this project is being done. Then what is the model name that you have given, then model description, then how many times that you have done the revisions, then issue numbers, how many issues that you have done. So like that, for example, if you are using this in any company, so these data you are supposed to give. Okay, so first, what is the client name, to whom you are doing this project, then what is that project name. Okay, then what is that project number, whether it is a first project number that you are doing for that client, or it is a 10th project number you are going to do, that detail. Then your company name. Okay, your company name, then your company logo, then who is the engineer that he is going to execute at the site. Then so before that, the designer will be designed this using the software. Then before directly sending it, it has to be checked by one more expert person. So that what is the checker name. Then so that will be, this project will be done under some project manager who is the supervision. So who is that supervisor? Then what is the model name that you have given for this model? Then if any description you want to give for that model, then how many times you have done the changes for this model. So then how many issues or how many copies you have given to the execution. So all these details can be input at the beginning. I will show you at the end, that will give you here. Okay, that is about the project information. Then this too comes under models. Okay, that too comes under project settings, right? So now you have seen about the project settings. So next you have is the structure layout. So what are the things that come under structure layout? Just click on plus, you can see these are the data that come under structure layout. Under that again you have subcategories. Now let us see one by one, right? So the first is structure layout. First, in that structure layout, you have the data, what you call it as story data. What this story data will give you, what information this story data will give you. Let us check, right? So if I click on the story data and if I give OK, you can see here it will give you base, story 3, story 1, story 2. This is the names that we have given for our project. So when you start from the coordinate, that is at the origin, what will be your height for the base? 0. Okay, what will be your height for the base? 0. And we have given the heights in inches, right? So the height between your 0, that is your base, and your plinth level is 60 inches. Therefore it will show 0 to 60. Okay, then from that plinth level to your first ground floor, it is 120. That means the total height will be 180. This will give you the height, that means difference in height between the stories. This will give you the total height from the origin. So therefore it is 60 plus 120, 180. Then to the next story, again it is plus 60, that is 120. So that is 300. Okay, so this will give you about the story data, that will give you about what is the total story height from the origin, as well as what is the difference in story heights for each story. That information you will get it in the story data. Then story data is done. Next you have grid system. Okay, next you have is the grid system. So in the grid system again you have some other categories. Let us see one by one. So grid system, what are those? Grid system and grid lines. So let us see both. Therefore I will click both the option. I'll give OK. Okay, right? Yes, or if you want you can see here. When I give OK, so you will be having option here to change grid lines, grid system. So this will give you the information about all the grid lines. Okay, you can see the ground, you have X, A1, visible, bubble location, like that everything will give, it will give you the coordinates 0. Then A, that is the grid ID A. For that the coordinate is 0. Then for C this much, D this much. So like that for each and every story and for each and every grid ID, so the coordinates will be given here like this. Okay, that means if you want to see any information about the grid lines that what we have done, you can get it here. Then if you want to see about grid systems, right, so it will ask you. Okay, so what is the name that we have given? That is G1. Then the type is Cartesian coordinate system. We are using Cartesian coordinate system. Then story range is default, X origin 0, Y origin 0, rotation degree 0, bubble size 60. Right. So this is the color. So this grid system as well as grid lines will give you the information about these grid lines, whatever we have used for our project. That is about the grid, that is about grid system, right? So then after grid system, the next you have is the joint coordinates. What is this joint coordinates? Each and every joint like this. So if you want to see the information about each and every joint, that is this one, each and every joint in the project, that will be got under joint coordinates. So I will click on joint coordinates, I will give OK. Right, you can see in the story 2, so the label is given 1 and a unique name is given 2. So for this joint number 1, the X coordinate is this one, Y coordinate is this one, Z coordinate is this one. And in the same story for the label 2, that is for the second coordinate, okay, that is in, if you see here, that coordinate is 6, that is the name given to the joint 6. So for that this is the X, Y, Z. Then for the 10th node, which is in the story 2, this is the coordinate value. Like that for every story, in every story, for every joint, these names will be given and corresponding coordinates with respect to origin can be obtained in these joint coordinates. You can see first the story 2. Once the story 2 over, you can see always the results will come from the top. Then it will come to story 1. Okay, in the story 1, these from here to here are the number of joints that you can get it in the story 1. These are the joint, and for the joints these are the names given. Okay, so corresponding coordinates can be seen here. Then after story 1, so you have story 3 from here. Okay, you have story 3 from here to here. So in story 3, this many joints are there and these are the names, unique names given, and they are their corresponding coordinates. Then next you have the base, right? So these are the base joints, these are the base joints from here to here. So these are the unique name given and these are their corresponding coordinates, right? So this table will give you about the information about joint coordinates for each and every joint. If I click on joint coordinate data, then that is also about this. Okay, so therefore if I go to my display and show tables, and if I click on joint coordinates, so that will give you entire information about my joint coordinates or the joints of my structures. That is like this, these joints, each and every value. That is about joints. Next you have is about frame connectivity, right? So this frame connectivity, when I click on that, that will give you information about the beams and columns what you have drawn. Okay, that means it will give you the beam numbers, it will give you the column numbers. So like that, all the information which is required about the beams, you can get it here. Let us click on only beams. I'll give OK. You can see in the story 2, so for each and every beam a unique name is given, or B4, B5, B6, like that beam number is given. So these are the total number of beams which is present in the story 2. How many are there? If you want, you can click it. 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41. Totally 41 beams are there. Okay, so this will give you the length as well as the points. Okay, so for each and every beam length will be given. So that is about story 2. Then again story 1, same, it will be repetition. So beam 4 in the story 2 and beam 4 in the story 1, just it will come down. Okay, B4, story 2, B4, 6, 2, you can check here. Then story 1, B4, it is 5, 1. Length you can see same, 133, 133. So like that, so for every story there will be a number of beams. So that beam information will be given in this beam connectivity. Then this is beam connectivity data in together. Similarly, if you want about the information about the columns, okay, so this is about beams. If you want about the columns, so then go to column connectivity data and column connectivity. So like this, it will give you for the columns. Every column will be named like this, corresponding length will be given. This is consolidated one. Okay, that is about the beam and column data. Okay, so that will come in the frame connectivity. When I choose frame connectivity, that will give you information about the beams and columns. Okay, that is frame connectivity. Then next you have is shell connectivity. If you want to have any information about the slabs, okay, if you want to have any information about the slabs, so then you can choose shell connectivity and give OK. Okay, you can see this is all about your shell, that is story number 2, and this is a slab F3. So that will give you the coordinate points, it will give you the total perimeter of that slab, it will give you the total area. Okay, then in the story 2, this is another slab with name F4, this is the perimeter, this is the area, right? Like that, for each and every slab the information will be given, right? You have only story 1 and story 2 because there is no slab on the plinth beam, therefore only story 1 and story 2, that is floor connectivity. This is consolidated floor connectivity data, this is consolidated. Okay, so anything about the floor you can get it in the shell connectivity. Okay, yes, that is all about this. Then the last, that one that you can have here in the structure layout is objects and elements, right? So again, this will give you information about the joints, about the frames, that is beams and columns, and about the shells, that is slabs. You can click on that, you can give OK. Okay, you can see that this is about the frames. Okay, then element label, what the name is given to that element, So what is the joints number? For example, if I choose a beam of 19, then the starting point is 25, the end point is 26. If we choose beam 22, then the starting point is 29, ending point is 30. So like that, where it is going to start, where it is going to end also, you can get in object and elements frames. Similarly, this will about the joints. For joint 2 again, what is my x, what is my y, what is my z? That is coordinates. Then shells like this. Okay, you can see if I take in story, if I take slab number 1, right? So we can see it is going to connect with 4 joints. So what are those joints? Joint 18, joint 137, joint 139 and 138. If I take this, then they are going to be connected with these number joints. So like that. That is all about the shell. Okay. So therefore, first today we have just seen about the information about the structure layout. Okay. In that structure then, so therefore what we have seen in the model, we have seen about the project settings, then structure layout. So in the next video we will see about the definitions. So what are those that comes under definition? Okay. So then we will see about loads, then assignments, then structures. So first I will explain you about all the results, then I will tell you what are the results that we have to take and we have to start designing the structure. Okay. So that we will see in the next video. Thank you, learners.